Welcome back. It's Wednesday, which means we get to visit with our friend Michael Babcock of TMZ to get the scoop on today's hottest stories. And boy, do we have some stuff to talk about. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Kelly. Morning, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we got to start with the obvious that Jeremy's all about.
I'm about it, Michael. I sent you didn't get to see it. I sent it last night, an Instagram message about Britney because there are so many conspiracy theories. And a lady on TikTok said if TMZ knew what was going on, they would break the story. And I know you would. That's why I was like, I'm going to message Michael to see what he knows.
I think I was, let's see, I might have been sleeping, Jeremy.
You may have
No,
been.
no, I wasn't sleeping. It was only 5:30. I didn't see. Yeah, look, this has become a thing. There are fans out there and you know, a group of fans who believe that something had happened to Britney Spears, that she had, God forbid, that she had passed away, that she had been kidnapped, something very sinister had happened to Britney Spears. That was the fan theory out there, and there was a couple of reasons why. I guess they had some reason to suspect that. So Britney was posting these photos, videos, and you say, hey, those maybe don't look like they're new, and she hadn't been really heard or seen from in a while, and the fans start to say, hey, maybe something really is wrong here. Add to that, Britney said that she was going to be traveling to New York City, and then there were no paparazzi shots of Britney in the city. And you would think somebody as famous as Britney Spears, that obviously there would be a bunch of paparazzi taking photos of her. So that further added to the suspicion. Well, now we know that, first of all, Britney's okay. She's totally fine. She's not dead. She's not kidnapped. Nothing like that, thankfully. She said she was going to New York City just because she wanted to divert people, kind of make a diversion so she could go on a vacation with Sam Asghari in Mexico. So that's why nobody had any photos of her in New York City. And again, yeah, Britney Spears is very much okay and still here with us.
So she deleted her account, but it's back.
Yeah, she does that all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Which she does, fairly frequently. I think she's done it at least 2 other times since the conservatorship ended. So yeah, that in itself has not, is really not rare anymore just because she's done it.
So, Michael, have you heard the theories, too, that another person, I don't know if you know Perez Hilton. I mean, you know Perez Hilton. But anyway, he was coming out saying he had heard something. It was not conspiracy theory based, but something bad has happened. He's not comfortable talking about it. Then his TikTok was deleted. So I'm like, there's all these theories, and I'm like, and then another girl was talking about TMZ. If they knew, they would break the story.
Right.
And
yeah,
then,
which is true. I mean, yeah, if we did know something, we,
you would. But here's the thing, too. She's free
story,
now.
Obviously. Yeah, I have not heard. Look, I certainly don't know everything. So it could be. Nothing that I've heard, though, that would, sort of fit those parameters that he said.
Do you find it odd, though, that they're, like, if she's free now and she can do whatever she wants, there are very, very few pictures of her out in the world, though, like out in public, going to restaurants, going to...
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of people thought that once the conservatorship ended, that she was going to, like, hey, let's go out. We're going to, we'll be everywhere, jet setting across the world. And yeah, she definitely hasn't done that. They've went on a few vacations here and there, but even in town, Jeremy, there's obviously a lot of paparazzi in Hollywood, and I mean, I very rarely see photos of her. You see photos of a lot of stars who regularly go out and they're constantly photographed. But yeah, you don't see too much of Britney, to be honest. That's a great point. She has sort of, even though she can do whatever she wants, she has sort of stayed at home.
I'm kind of worried about her, honestly. I think a lot of what she's doing shows that she's very unwell mentally. She really is.
I think so. I think
a lot of people are worried. Yeah, I agree. I know, Kelly. A lot of people feel like that. You want her to be able to be free, but you also, you hope she's okay.
Because there's a lot of theories online, too, about her husband. Have you heard anything about Sam and, his intentions or anything, or do we not know?
I mean, I think rumors and people, speculating that he, obviously Sam wants to make it big. He wants to be an actor, and, Britney Spears is great for his career, and obviously and not that he's made it huge as an actor yet, but he is famous. And I've heard stuff like that, but I've never heard from anybody close to Britney or any Britney sources that they actually believe that those are his intentions or his nefarious intentions or anything like that. So, but yeah, I know the rumors are out there. I'm sure those will, I don't know if that'll ever end.
Gotcha.
Okay, well, the theories could go on and on. So,
Yeah, yeah, really.
yes, right on. All right, we hope she's going to be all right. Elon Musk resigning as Twitter CEO. Is this true?
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw this. A few days ago, he puts up this poll on Twitter and he says, should I resign? And I will abide by the results. And 17.5 million people voted. And it ended up being 57.5% that said yes and 42.5% that said no. And so that's about a little over 10 million votes, if my math's right. And he now says, I will step down. People didn't know because it's not that he went silent because he was still tweeting for a few days, but he never said once the poll ended if he was, okay, you said you'd abide by it before you got the results. Now that we know the results, are you going to still abide by it? So he didn't say, now he says, yeah, I'm going to step down. Now he did say, when I find somebody foolish enough to take the job. So, I don't, look, if people like Elon or if you don't like him, I mean, the way I see it is this: he still owns the company. So whether or not yes or no, yes, step down, no, don't step down, came up on the poll, it didn't matter. He was probably going to step down in a few months anyway. He obviously has Tesla and SpaceX to run, and he still owns the company. So if you want Elon Musk at Twitter, he still owns the company, and whoever he installs as the CEO is going to report to him.
Yep.
And
Right.
he says, by the way, he's still gonna run like the software and the servers part of Twitter. So he's still going to have a big piece, even that he'll be running seemingly on a day in, day out basis.
I don't blame him for wanting to step out of the line of fire.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
It's been,
seriously.
he's gotten beat up bad, Kelly.
Yeah.
I don't know how close you paid attention to it, but he is, it hasn't been smooth so far.
No.
Michael, I wonder how many of those votes were bots.
Yeah, that would, wouldn't that be funny? Because he's hated those bots
Yeah.
so much, and in the end, if there were a bunch of bots that added to him,
Can he find that out?
getting ousted? Yeah, but it was, it was it was like 10 million votes to 7 million votes. So you'd have to have, I don't know, maybe there are that many bots, but it was like millions. And the margin was 3+ million votes. So it wasn't necessarily all that close.
Well, I don't do much with Twitter. I do have the blue check. That'll be going away because I'm not paying the $8.
Well, I think
paying
you
the
keep
$8,
it,
I
Kelly.
don't
If
care.
you had it before, yeah, I believe you keep your blue check, and then now you can obviously
But
pay the
hey,
monthly rate
Michael,
to
what does
verify.
the yellow check mean now?
Caution, this account is...
Have you seen the yellow check
What
mark?
does it mean? No.
The audio, Jared, got so messed up.
Oh,
I didn't
I'm
hear
sorry.
anything. I'm sorry.
Well, there's a yellow check mark now, replacing for businesses. Like I saw newspapers and TV stations have a yellow check mark now.
Well, oh yeah, which I don't think is a bad idea. So everyone doesn't just have the blue check mark. If it's a news organization, maybe you give them a different color. If it's a financial institution, there are a lot of ideas that people have had, and he's had some, I think, good ideas. He's had some bad ideas that, like essentially giving everybody the check mark without any verification. That was a complete mess. You had people parodied, these parody accounts of
Oh yeah.
government agencies. I mean, it could have actually been dangerous, but thankfully they nixed that. So
I want a pink check.
I want to.
that would be pretty,
I
wouldn't
want
it?
a pink check.
I like it, Michael.
gotta
It's
talk
so
to
good to
Elon,
talk to you.
Kelly.
Good
Thank
to see you, my
you.
friend.
See you later. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We love
Merry
you.
Christmas.
You can catch TMZ weekdays at 5 p.m. and TMZ Live weekdays at 2 p.m. Coming up, we're trying some food from the Aloha Snack Bar.
Yeah, more food.
We'll be right back. We got more food.